Hello, everybody. My name is M.E. Williamson, and I am the inventor and creator of the new theoretical model called flow theory. And I'm here today to do an introductory talk on the subject and to introduce the concepts, the basic concepts of flow theory. Now, before I begin, I need to disclose that this is a new theoretical model, and this theoretical model has undergone some development work here at SolarSnap. In my laboratory, mostly, it's brand new theory and it's very different, very divergent from existing theories, especially stemming from Einstein's work in relativity. My theory is contravariant, is in contradiction to many of the theories of Einstein. I know that has aroused a lot of controversy, and I just want to be responsible for letting you know that this is a controversial theory, and there's been some online debate about it, and not always positive comments from people, but nonetheless, I believe that this is a better theoretical model, and it will yield more accurate and useful results going forward in the physical sciences. Okay, so first things first, I really want to underline the fact that this is not a math-heavy model. One of the things I found difficult to swallow about much of the relativity research is the fact that you need math to prove it. And I think that's sort of the cart before the horse. I think you should have a viable theoretical model and then apply mathematics. Whereas relativity, it seems like it's been a model that was a very radical conjecture where a lot of mathematicians then piled on and built a lot of equations around it without really analyzing the actual foundational model. So what I would like to do today is, in a very brief amount of time, in the limited time that I have, explain to you the theoretical basis and not get into a lot of mathematics. Now, I do have some equations to go along with the theory, so you can begin to quantify gravimetric and time and electrical effects. But I'm not going to get into those today because I think we should start at the beginning. And the beginning is, what is the model and how is it represented in reality, so that we can wrap our heads around it and understand and appreciate how it works. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the concept of realms. Okay, now this is flow theory. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is realms. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, that looks pretty clear. Okay, what are realms in the context of flow theory? A realm is a space of existence where there is actually matter, as we have the experience of being comprised of matter, and it may be connected to other realms that have their own matter, but they're not the same matter. Okay, so I guess an example would be, if I could just start with the actual realms of flow theory, I think it'll help to explain it. In flow theory, we have electricity, or electromagnetic, actually. And then we have the gravimetric, and then we have the time. So, as an example, I think will help illustrate this. Electricity, according to flow theory, exists in a secondary realm. It doesn't exist in the realm that I am in. It exists in another realm that is connected to this realm. And a very good example of that that illustrates that is the fact that electricity is invisible. Now, I know physicists are going to pop up and they're going to change the channel and they're going to say, no, we got the electron. It's, we know that exists and we can quantify that, and we know that it exists in this realm. I know, and I agree. And allow me to explain a little more deeply, please. Okay, so if you have the physical body in this realm, okay, say one atom, okay, and it's got a nucleus, which is comprised of protons and neutrons, and then you have the electrical energy that's surrounding it. You have a case of an energy in another secondary realm that enters the physical realm. So we have, I'm sorry, I should clarify the terms a little better. The physical realm is the realm that we exist in. So if you're thinking in the whole model, there's actually 4 realms that I'm going to describe today. There's the physical, and then there's the electrical, gravimetric, and time. Now these are auxiliary connected realms. They're not actually in the physical realm. They're secondary realms, okay, or ancillary realms. I state in my papers. And this video is my first video, so please don't be too hard on me. I'm really trying to branch out and get into the social media and try to explain these things in video so that more people can understand and appreciate this. Okay, so please go easy on me. But the physical realm is the realm that we call home. We call home. It's a realm where we exist, and we have presence, and we can also sense and see and touch and be present, be inside of, because this is our home realm. Okay. The electrical is a secondary realm. So if you have a physical body here, physical body, PB, and then you have electricity in this secondary realm, you can really think of the realms as, the ancillary realms, as surrounding the physical body. So you have atomic matter, and then you have surrounding the atomic matter in these 3 ancillary realms, electricity, time, and gravity. Okay. Now, so that's really the central core theme that differentiates flow theory from other existing theories. Is I'm not going to try to quantify gravity in this realm, because gravity does not exist in this realm. Now, some scientists will say, well, that's convenient, and you've invented these realms and they don't exist, and it's so nice for you to have this fantasy, because then you can say whatever you want about it. But it's more than that. I've actually been able to do research to prove this and to develop these theories a little more fully and to prove them. Okay, so now jumping to gravity. So electricity flows around the physical body, and it does not orbit according to flow theory. It's not in orbit. It travels from north to south. So if you think of like a rock in a stream and the water going around the rock, that is more the way that it is described in flow theory as far as electricity goes. And that explains a lot of things that nobody has been able to explain up until now, including the property of repulsion in electromagnetics. And I'll get to that in a few moments. Okay. So electricity is traveling in one direction, and it travels around the physical body. Yeah, and I was going to talk about gravity, but let me just say one more thing, because I wanted to go back to this caveat about physical realm presence of the electron. In the 3 ancillary realms, matter exists as a singular thing. So you can think of them as like electricity as a body of water. Now, we have molecular composition in water, it's H2O, but in these ancillary realms, I'm proposing that this energy exists as a singular thing. It is not a divided thing. It is not a digital thing, and it is not a quantum, divided particulate thing. It is a singular energy. Okay, So you can kind of think of it as like an analog type of energy, okay? And what happens when the electricity collides with the physical body is it shears off from this singular flow, and little particles appear in our physical realm, and we call that the electron. So electron is sheared off from the electrical flow in the electricity realm, electromagnetic realm. Okay, and I'll get into magnetics and the repulsive effect according to field theory in just a few moments. But I wanted to jump to gravity because I want to try to touch on all these in the few moments that I have. So gravity is, according to field theory, is an attractive force that develops between similar things. Okay, and what I mean by that is really basically protonic, substance. And you say, well, the nucleus is comprised of protons and neutrons. Yes, and one of the propositions that I make in fluid theory is that a neutron is actually a proton that has slipped into these secondary realms. And I call these secondary realms, I put them under one heading of time energy, or TE. Okay, so these secondary realms are TE, time energy. So when that proton slips into this, is basically suspended. You can think of these ancillary realms as like a canvas, okay? And when that protonic matter is suspended into, or placed on that canvas, some of the particles of that proton slip into that secondary realm, and they sort of disappear, become a shadowy existence to us. And this explains the zero charge of neutrons. Neutrons are protons that have a charge, but they have disappeared, and they've semi-disappeared, and they've sunk into these secondary, tertiary, ancillary realms. And so we don't measure the electrical charge anymore. And this is borne out by beta decay, where you actually can liberate a neutron, and where it reemerges and becomes a proton and has a charge. So that's a very interesting proof. Okay, so now moving back to gravity and the effects of gravity. Gravity is caused by like attraction between substances of a similar makeup and nature, and those can pretty much be subsumed under protonic energy. So protons, equal attraction to one another. So protons are attracted to one another, and this is as a result of this gravity field as part of the TE that surrounds the physical body. And what the term of this surrounding time energy around the physical body is the crown of conduction. And the crown of conduction is a body unto itself in time energy. So the crown of conduction is a body onto itself in time energy. Okay, and then jumping to time in just this brief few minutes that I have, time is a replicative realm where it replicates the protonic matter, and it creates copies of the protonic matter, and so it changes throughout time. So time arises from the time realm of the three ancillary realms: gravity, electromagnetism, and time. Now coming back to electromagnetic, if this holds true, that electricity is flowing like a river around the physical realm materials, and then you have now basically like a river shooting away across and then away from the physical body. Now if you align all of the atoms of the physical body of a metallic substance, a highly magnetic metallic substance, then or iron, you know, a metallic substance, then now that there's a greater magnetic effect, and I'll get into the magnetic effect in a moment, but I want to talk about repulsion. So if you have things that are lined up and there's a flow, and then you have things that are lined up in another object or physical body, and there's a flow, and then you point them to each other, you're going to get a repulsive effect. And that is the theory of magnetism in flow theory, electromagnetism, and the repulsive effect, is that you have this electrical flow and they're colliding, and that's why it feels like there's like a water shooting, like two hoses, like when you try to put two hoses together that are shooting, they kind of jump around and do that. That is the reason, is because electrical energy is the atoms have been aligned in such a manner that electrical energy is going in the same direction. So that explains repulsion in a new way that I have not heard proposed in any other science. Okay, so those are the basic concepts of flow theory: the realm, the physical body, the surrounding canvas of time energy, the gravimetric effect, the time effect, and the electromagnetic effect. Now, one final piece. People are probably curious, well, what causes magnetism? Looking in there's a generality, I think, in the concept of this physical body and universal construct, and that is things of a like nature are attracted to one another. And in the case of gravity, you have protonic matter that is attracted to itself. And in the case of electricity, it's a slightly different effect. The flow of the electrical energy around the physical body creates a shearing effect and a face. And that face has particular properties. And that face is attracted to other such faces in that same manner of like attraction. So that shearing effect and that face that develops around the physical body is like a sub-body of the time energy body, and that face has particular properties that are attracted to other such similar faces. So that interface where the electrical energy becomes the electron, and we can measure it and see it as an electron, and it has gravity and all the effects that we see of things in our physical realm. At that interface area, you have a face that has attraction to other such faces. So that explains rather neatly the magnetic effect. Now, the theoretics, that's the basic of the flow theory. And as far as the mathematics, I will get into that in future videos, and I'll be posting more videos about the subject on my channel here, Flow Theory 101. Thank you for joining me for this brief introduction to flow theory, and have a great day. Thank you.